Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Today was actually a really good Friday because Bitcoin was up, miners were up nicely today as well. Jobs report came in pretty good also, so that was all good things that we're seeing in the markets, right? We're also seeing the Fed lowering interest rates probably a couple more times this year. So we have a lot of good things happening for us this quarter, basically Q4. But here's what we got on the plate. We're going to take a look at the miners, Bitcoin really quick as well. We'll get into some of the stories that we do have here, which is on Cipher, Iren and Terawulf production updates for September, and then we'll get into you guys' Q&A. So it should be pretty easy here, and we'll call it a day. So we still have a bunch more to get through over the weekend. We'll do that on Sunday probably, because there was just a lot that came out today, and I can't get everything done in one day. So we'll cover it then. All right, but let's get into it here. As always, you guys know the drill, not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research. And full disclosure down below that if you enjoy this type of content, as always, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin today and the miners. It had a great day today. I was quite pleased with the way things worked out today. And we talked about it a little bit yesterday, right? So is Uptober starting? At yesterday's video, I said, based on where the 50-day simple moving averages and the 100 simple day moving averages, last time they were this close and about to cross, we actually had Bitcoin start ripping up much higher. And we're kind of seeing that right now. We'll see if this is a continuation of that, where we go continuing up higher, where going back to all the way to last year at this time frame. We can see here, let's see, we're in December, we were in October, right there. See, 50-day simple moving average, then you got the 100-day simple moving average, the blue line here, right? Just before they crossed, Bitcoin started going up much higher, and we might see the same thing happening here this time around as well. Time will tell, though, okay? But it's looking like that's the kind of stuff that we're seeing right now as well. So Bitcoin was up today 2.22%. It was up 1,345%, not percent, $1,345. Closed at 62,090, so it was a good day. Miners had a really good day also. Annie was up quite a little bit, so was Argo, but Digital was up barely. BitTF was up nice, 5%. Bitfarms was up 2.5%. Cipher up, Cipher was up actually a little bit higher than where it ended up at, but it was like almost 10% up on the day, and then it came back down to 7.3. Cleanspark had a great day, 10.6. CORZ was up just a little bit here, 1.4. Digihost was down about 1%. DMG was up just slightly. Hive was up 2.25. Hut was up 2.5 roughly. Iren also had a really good day. Was up 10.71%. Marathon was up 5.4. Mawson was up just a little bit here. Riot was up nicely as well, 5.65. And then we had Stronghold that was flat, and Wolf surprisingly was actually down 6.58% on the day. So it was a good day, right? We're seeing a nice multiple and quite a few of these guys here. Cipher, Cleanspark, Iren did really, really well here today. Where they have been in the past been kind of lagging, but we're seeing this kind of reversal here happening with them because they've been beaten down quite a bit here in the last quarter or so. So it's good to see them catching a bid here a little bit in the new quarter as well. Okay. But that's kind of what we got here with those. We can see here, let's take a look at the network hash rate. We haven't looked at that in a couple of days here, or maybe a week even. But let's see where that's trending right now. This is on the 7 day. 7 day is starting to go back up here to 645 on the 30-day average. It's still trading sideways here. It's at 642 exahash right now. As Bitcoin goes up, I would expect that to go up as well on it. All right, so that's it for that. Let's take a look at the monthly stats here. Bitcoin's only down 1.76% in October, so it's turning out to be a reversal here possibly. And we've talked about this in the past. October is usually Uptober for us. It's usually a really good month. And I would expect the same thing to happen this time around. Time will tell, though. All right, let's get into the stories that we do have here. So the first one's going to be on Cipher Mining. Cipher Mining announces September 2024 production operation update. And here's what we have. It's pretty light, actually. So key metrics for them, BTC mined 155. It does include power sales estimates to be about 4. So about 151 BTC is what they actually mined. BTC sold was 923, and that was to fund the purchase of the Texas site. I can't remember what it's exactly called. And then Bitcoin held is now at 1,512, so that is a decrease, and they're operating at 9.3 exahash here. Let's see here. There we go. With the anticipated completion of the Odessa upgrade by year end, we will have one of the most efficient fleets of mining rigs in the industry, said Tyler Page, CEO of Cipher. At the same time, construction at Black Pearl is progressing well and is on track for energization by the end of Q2 of 2025, continued Mr. Page. So basically 9 months out, roughly, maybe a little bit before that. And that is one of the reasons why I haven't gotten into Cipher, is a lot of their growth is going to be happening in the second half of next year, potentially. where I'm looking for a lot of growth this year and into next year, early to next year as well, as Bitcoin starts going up much higher here in the bull run. All right, here's the site for Black Pearl. It's looking pretty good here. They got at least one, what is that, maybe on 1, 2, and then a skeleton of the second building, or third and fourth buildings here, depending on how they call those. But things are progressing here quite nicely here for them, so that's great. All right, let's take a look at the numbers that I do have here for them, and I don't have that up. Bear with me here while I pull that up a second. Let me see here. Where do we want to go? We want to go, let's go here while I set things up. I forgot to pull in my spreadsheets. It's Friday. It's to be expected. Everybody's out having fun, and I'm here working with you guys. You guys are like my friends. Where is it at? There we go. Pull that up. Oh, come on. There it is. Okay, put that over here. All right. Let's get into Cipher here. There we go. All right. So here's what we have on Cipher. Cipher, as of today, roughly has about 328 million shares outstanding. Stock price $4.10. Market cap $1.3 billion. The performance of the last 12 weeks has been actually pretty good. They're only down 12% from 12 weeks ago, up 1% from 8 weeks ago. They're up 52% from 4 weeks ago. And then last week, they were up 41%. They had a huge gain on that. And that was based on the news story that they closed on their news site in Texas, and that they have potential clients maybe for HPCI there as well. I think that's why the stock really did well there. Okay, currently you have them at 9.3. Bitcoin HODL is 1,512. That's at 91 million right now. Their self-mining BTC has been coming down here as time goes on. Right, they're not installing a lot of hash rate right now. Most of their hash rate is going to be growth happening in this quarter. I think they're going to get to like 13 exahash by the end of the year here, and then more growth later on in next year as well. On top of that, revenue has been coming down as well. That's because they're not growing their hash rate while the Bitcoin network hash rate is increasing. They're generating less. The only thing that's going to save them here is Bitcoin going up to like 80, 90, 100,000 here. That's going to generate more revenue for them, even if their BTC production is going down. Bitcoin HODL here, you can see their HODL was increasing quite tremendously here through basically the past year. And we had quite a dip here, and that's because they sold 923. On that one, total hash rate growth, you can see that their growth has been flat for the first part, going back a year basically, and then started to improve as time went on. So that is nice to see that we're having some growth there. And then BTC per exahash efficiency has been coming down, but it's been coming down for a lot of the miners here, and they're still pretty not too bad here on this value here. Bitcoin sold value, they sold about 55.7 million on that one. And then looking at institutions side of things here, we can see that institutions did increase a little bit here to 226. Shares actually went down to 103 million owned by institutions, and percentage went down to 31.8. We now have 2 additional strong buy ratings for them, so it's now 6 strong buy ratings, 4 buy ratings, 1 hold rating, 0 underperform, 0 sells. Price target stayed the same for the high at $9. The average went down to $7.42, and the low stayed the same at $6 for them. Okay, so that's not too bad there. As far as their uptime and operational, what did we add here this month for them in September? I added these 234 terahash miners for them, the pros, about 16,000. I got rid of all these older ones here. I believe that was the case that they were going to do, is swap all these out for the most part. So I did that already this in September for the new quarter, and got them to the, where is it at? 9.3 exahash here, right there on it. And that gave them, made them operational for 23.47 days on average here for the month. And that got us to the 9.1 million here, I believe it was total. Yeah, total. That's the total right there, which includes the JV that they're part of as well on it. So that works out really, really well there on it. Now, where do I see them, or where do I think they should be right now? Based on the last month's operational data that we do have here, the revenue times 12 months, I have them between 298 and 447 here roughly. They're at 410 right now. I think based on that, they would be kind of fairly valued there. But if we're looking at the last 3 quarters and the current quarter that we just finished up here, I'm in between 469 and 703, so slightly undervalued from where they really should be probably based on that. But as Bitcoin starts to go up much higher, that is going to improve for them as well. Big thing for them is to continue to install as much hash rate as fast as they can into this bull run. That's where you gain a lot of the benefit of being a Bitcoin miners during the bull runs. A lot of times those bull runs will either make or break you, if especially if you're growing and improving and things like that. So it's just imperative for them to do that. But yeah, that's it. They always operate really well. They just need to, like I said, grow and install, get things built out as fast as they can on their side of things. Okay. Next here, Iren. Iren is also a pretty short and sweet update here. So September 2024 monthly investor update. Bitcoin mining, they mined 347 Bitcoin. Electricity, really low cost of electricity per Bitcoin here is at 23.6 thousand, which is really good. 21 exahash installed, 16 joules per terahash efficiency. That's also really, really, really good. I think it's one of the best ones here currently. They did reach their goal. Their goal was to get to 20 exahash by the end of Q3. They did reach that, and they actually surpassed it by 1 exahash. So congratulations to all the team members there at Iren for getting this done. And they are on track to reach 31 exahash by the end of the fourth quarter, which is also really good. So they're going to reach their goals here, which is really good. Okay, AI cloud services, they have 1,886 NVIDIA H100s and H200 GPUs. They're estimating it will contribute about 10% to their run rate earnings by year end. That's if they get the customers there and everything else. That's kind of what they're estimating there. On it, what else do we have here? Okay, average operating hash rate was 16.5, nice increase from August as well. Bitcoin mined 347, that's also really good increase from August of 245. And then AI cloud services revenue went down quite a bit, almost half from where it was in August, 685. And that is a result of Poolside ending their deal or contract that they have with them on it, or at least not re-upping it. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in here. We do have pictures, I believe, down below. Yep, here's Childress right now. Quite the nice site here for them. And then here is all their megawatts that we've always talked about. So I'm not really going to go over it, but they have more than 3,000 megawatts potentially for them. A lot of stuff is being under construction connection underway, operating. So they're just kind of like checking off these boxes here and, get this done. It's done. Go on to the next one. They continue to do really, really well here. And that's why I'm invested in them as well. And then we have a nice picture of the team there from Iren. So congrats to everybody there for a fantastic job. Okay, let's get into my numbers here for Iren, and then we'll get into Terawulf. So Iren right now has about 187 million shares outstanding. Stock price 868 as of today. Market cap 1.6 billion as it is. The performance over the last 12 weeks, I would say, is getting better, right? From 12 weeks ago, they're down 41%, which is a pretty big drop there. But we're up 17% from 8 weeks ago, 37% from 4 weeks ago, and then last week we were up 17% as well. So it's had a nice run up here recently. And then why do I have them at 21 exahash? It should be at 31 exahash. Let's see here. That is going to be down here. Something is not lining up for me. 21, what am I missing here? Oh, I'm missing a couple here. I think it's going to be these. Get them to 30. Not sure. 30, okay, so that's close. We're off by 1 exahash here. It's not going to be those two here, so I wonder if it's going to be some of these machines here, or if they're able to actually squeeze out more juice out of these machines to get an additional 1 exahash based on just overclocking and things like that. Maybe that's the reason for it. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, so I guess it's 30, so we're really close there on that one. Right, they don't have a hodl or anything like that. That's the only drawback I think that I see with Iren right now is not having a hodl. The good thing is, to a certain extent, that they are not diluting as much as other companies. But they have diluted quite a bit as well. But because they're using up all their Bitcoin mined to fund operations and growth, we're seeing a little bit maybe less dilution here. But the good sign also is their BTC production here has improved quite nicely here. They're not too far away from where they were September of last year, 390. So they've had massive growth in their hash rate here over the last year. And that is a result of why we're so close to being where they were last year. Okay, Bitcoin revenue value here. Let's see, nice jump as well, 20.94 million. So this is their basically the third best month out of the last 12 months or so on it. They don't have a hodl. We talked about that. And then look at their hash rate growth here recently. In the last 2 months, we've had 5.5 exahash installed, 5 exahash here installed in September as well, 10.5 exahash in the last 2 months. That is fabulous. Just outstanding job by everybody there. Okay, so that's why we're seeing much better revenues here compared to where we were last year on it, even though we've had a halving event. Bitcoin sold, they've been selling everything that they mine. BTC per exahash efficiency 16.52 is actually not too bad there. Bitcoin sold value, they sold about 20.94 million on it. Going down here to institutions. Institutions for them also are off. The numbers that I have through Webull are actually off right now. And once that gets fixed, corrected, I'll get that updated as well for them. Okay, going down here, let's see. For September, we added quite a few machines here. So we added these 190 terahash miners and these 200 terahash miners as well within the last couple of days. And then on average, I've been operating about 23.97 days or so, so roughly 24 days. So they did curtail in Texas as well, as have other companies done that. But that gets us to the 20.94 million, which is what we have here based on the average Bitcoin price in September on it. So that all works out great. So based on all that, where do I see them? Well, they're undervalued in my opinion. If we look at their September numbers multiplied times 12, we have in between 1002 and 1503, right? If we use the last 3 quarters plus the current quarter that we just finished in September, I'm in between 1063 to 1595. They're at 868. I do believe that they are on value. They should be probably somewhere between those two figures, so maybe around $13 or something like that. And they're way behind that as it is right now. Okay. What can I say about Iren? Not much. I mean, they're executing very well. The only question mark there is their HPC business, right? How much can that generate and how many customers can they get over the next probably 6 to 9 to 12 months or something like that? They have been buying their own H100s as well. So it's a little bit more costly, and the H200s as well. And we need to see the numbers on that, I guess. How profitable is that in the long run? And how long does it take them to get a return on investment on that as well? So there's a lot of questions still surrounding that, and I'm still kind of skeptical on the whole HPC business with the miners here. Time will tell, though. Okay. All right, so that's Iren. Let's take a look at our last one here, which is on Terawulf. Terawulf is also pretty short and sweet here, I believe. So Terawulf announces September 2024 production update and operations update. And here's where we have self-mined. Terawulf mined 176 Bitcoin in September, achieving an average production rate of approximately 5.9 Bitcoin per day. This also includes their JV, which they now sold off. So we probably won't be seeing that happening through October. Operating capacity in the company's operational self-mining capacity remained at approximately 10 exahash, which is where I have them, so no growth there. The average power cost per Bitcoin mined was $35,000 in September, corresponding to an approximate rate of 4.2 cents per kilowatt hour. And I would imagine that might go up, actually. I wonder if that's where I'm wondering. I'm wondering if that's just for the self-mining and not including the JV, or if that is a combination of the JV and their self-mining here. Maybe, I don't know. Bitcoin self-mined Lake Mariner was 140 Bitcoin, right? And then Bitcoin self-mined Nautilus, this is their JV, was 36. Value per Bitcoin was 60,000. What else do we have here? Average operational hash rate, 88.2. So about 82% uptime for them in the month of September on that one. Is there anything else in here? No. They talk about the sale of the one facility, the JV that they're, and then their HPCI initiatives that they have on the building out the infrastructure, the basically creating tier 3 data centers there. But you guys can read that. You guys, and we've talked about it all in the past as well. So I'm not really going to get into it. But that's that. Let's take a look at Terawulf here really quick as well. And let's see here. They got 382 million shares outstanding right now. Stock price is at $4.40. That gives them 1.6 billion market cap. Their performance here has been pretty good, actually, over the last 12 weeks. They're only down 11% from 12 weeks ago. They're up 30% from 8 weeks ago. From 4 weeks ago, they're up 32%. Last week, they were up 9.7% as well. So pretty good run there for them. Current hash rate at 10. Future hash rate at 10. So I'm guessing they have to be buying some more miners with the, but actually, no. I take that back. They have stated that they are not looking to grow anymore this year, I believe, or any plans for next year as far as Bitcoin mining is concerned. So they're more focused on the HPC AI business right now. Okay. And then you can see that with their BTC mined numbers here, it's coming down here to 140, right, with not much growth here recently. That's going to continue to go down as Bitcoin network continues to go up. That's a result of that. Self-mined revenue estimated here about 8.4 million here, so that is the lowest they've had here since looks like November of last year. They peaked in March of this year of 19.63. This was obviously before the halving event. And then it's come down quite dramatically here, and they haven't really kept up with the network hash rate growth, plus the halving event. What else do we have here? Hash rate, you can see the hash rate growth here has been flat over the last couple months. Bitcoin sold with and self and JV 176, so they sell pretty much everything as well. BTC per hash efficiency pretty efficient here at 17.51. Bitcoin sold value, how much they sold, pretty much everything. Going down here to institutions and analysts numbers here for them. Institutions did increase a little bit here to 272. Shares went up just a little bit, 173.4 million. Percentage owned went up a little bit as well to 45.56. Buy ratings, we have 5 strong buy ratings, 3 buy ratings. So that's an increase from the 2 that we had prior. We have 0 hold, 0 underperform, 0 sells. Price targets are at $10 for the high, $6.56 for the average. So that's actually down a little bit. And the low stayed the same at $3 on that one. Going down here to the actual numbers for them, we can see here that in September I had them running at about 23.2 days, roughly, on average on that one. And the red ones are the machines that were in the JV. So those will be taken out next month, possibly. But that got us to the 10.43 million in revenue based on the average Bitcoin price, and 10.43. I'm off a little bit. 10.623. Why am I off by 10.623? 10.435. Okay, I'm off 200,000. I'll get that fixed and we'll get it updated here. I don't know why that got changed. But that's kind of where we're at right now. If we use the revenue for last month times 12, I am between 265 and 398. That leads me to believe that they would be overvalued a little bit. If we use the values for the last 3 quarters plus the current quarter that's estimated right now, I'm in between 336 and 504. They're currently at 440. I think they're pretty fairly valued as it is right now. And actually, maybe a little overvalued based on just the future growth and everything else. But the whole hype around HPC AI has definitely helped them get a bounce in the share price because of that. So what would I like to see from Terawulf? One, I would think they need to get some kind of a HPC AI customer there that's substantive because of all the hype around the stock. If they don't do that, I think the stock was going to go down. That, and because they don't have much growth here going forward into their own self-Bitcoin mining. So really need to see that materialize over the next, I would say, possibly this quarter, if not no later than next quarter. But even then, that might be a little late. But we'll see on that one. Okay, so that's it. That's all the ones that we have for today. We'll cover the other ones. We have a couple more. I think we got like 5 or 6 to go over on Sunday stream as well. So we'll go through those at that point. But as always, you guys know, Patreon members get access to all my spreadsheets, which I will update this for you guys. Probably not tonight, but I'll do it probably tomorrow morning sometime. And then we'll leave it at that. Link to membership is down in the description below. If you want to join, it's $8 a month there. All right. So let's get into your guys' Q&A side of things here. So what you guys have to say, if anything at all. If you guys had a great day, hopefully you guys did, because today was a good day in the market. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. All right, let me see where we are at with everything. Let me go back up top, see if I missed any questions there. Let's see here. Okay, you guys have been kind of busy here with the comments. Okay. What else we have here? Okay, W Song says, Iren, what a day. Yeah, Iren had a nice day. Cleanspark had a nice day. Cipher also had a really good day also. Diesel, Iren for the Iren or I win. Tsipara asks, hey Seb, I'm thinking about cutting some of my Bitfarms to get some Cipher exposure. Are they diluting at the same pace? These Bitfarms sell walls are sad, especially after Ben stated they would slow them down. I don't think it's Ben's time. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I wouldn't know that for a fact. The only thing that Cipher has more growth into 2025, right? Once the Black Pearl site is built up, and they also got the new site right now, that one might be sold off potentially if they get a good bid on it, possibly from somebody because of HPC AI. But there's no guarantees with it either. So I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I like Bitfarms a little bit more here because of where they are in price. They're more undervalued than Cipher is right now. But yeah, it's a tough one. And W Song says, happy Friday, Sebastian. Happy Friday to you guys as well. Thanks for coming in also. Par says, thanks for doing a Friday show. You're very welcome. We had a lot to cover, so I didn't want to get too far behind on all these miners here. Okay. Andre says, I'm very happy with the Iren update. Yeah, it's a great update. Nice update, uptick in Bitcoin production, hash rate, everything else. It's looking good. Okay. Let's see. Richard says, Jason's and BlackRock's salary is both 27 million per year. BlackRock is a 10 trillion company. Riot is a 4 billion company. Guess which CEO is overpaid? Yeah, we always complain about that when we see it. Let's see. All miners dilute, but can you tell us which haven't in a while? That I don't know. I won't know that information until they report their quarterly results here. That's when I usually update the numbers, and that's when I usually see the increase in shares. You're trying to figure out which miners might be ripe and more likely to dilute soon. I'm trying to avoid those for now. Yeah, possibly. But I think with Bitcoin going back up in value, if we get up, Uptober and a nice November as well, if they're diluting, that would be the time to do it. And it really shouldn't matter because at that point, the miners will start ripping as well, I think. Okay, let's see. Doesn't matter. Not a single viewer or follower will be in miners next cycle. We are all just hoping to cash out as close to the top as possible. Mining companies are ran by con man. Sincerely. See, well, I'd like to get back into them possibly if they have another cycle, right? If Bitcoin has another cycle where it goes down, 60%, 70% or something like that, miners go down 80, 90%. I'd like to repeat this again. So I'd be back in it in the next cycle. Okay. Jared says, Jason is happy with 65% uptime. Bitfarms is not happy with 92% uptime. Know the difference? Well, I know Jason. I don't think Jason's happy with it. But they promised him a lot higher uptime, so we want to see that uptime. Okay, Steven says, thanks so much for the video today. You're very welcome. If Trump wins, he and Elon will help boom crypto. We shall see. Maybe there might be a little bit more to it, but I've seen it before. Right, Republicans were in the office, Democrats were in the office. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin went up. It doesn't really matter there. We have a lot going for it already without pro-crypto present, possibly. Okay. Let's see. I hope Seb talks about today's Bitfarms press release. The press release, yeah, I just saw it at the end, towards the end of the day, right before I went online. This was their update on the ATM that they have there, right? They've used up 200 some odd million of it. Not 200 million. Is it not 200 million shares? No. What the heck was it? 100 million some shares for like 200 some odd million in dollars in revenue. They still have like 100 some odd million left to dilute. So that's actually not too bad. Given where they were and where they are right now, that's not bad actually. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully they get past the FUD and get the Xhash installed and hashing. Yeah, I agree there. Especially your price targets change every week. When Iren was hovering around 14, you had price targets over 25. LOL. Now look at you. No, that depends on where we're talking about as far as timelines and where was Bitcoin going to go. These are the ones that I'm seeing where I think they should be fairly valued now. But as the price of Bitcoin is going to go up, my price targets are going to change as well. Overall, my price targets for the long term, this bull run, have not wavered much. They've come down a little bit here for like Cleanspark and Iren's, I think, are still okay. But for the most part, yeah, things will change. Depending where things go, depending how much they dilute, that's going to change. That's just the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, you're not going to have the same price for 2 years on these guys, and the number of shares are increasing. You're going to have a decrease in what possibly they could get to. Okay. See, Irving to talk about. They just reiterate they have 127 million left for the ATM and have issued 109 million shares. Yeah, okay, yeah. They may have to up the ATM if BTC takes off. They may have to up the ATM if BTC takes off and the cost for Stronghold goes up. Well, it's shares, right? They're not paying in cash. I think they're paying in shares. So I think it should be close to it, I think. Okay. Let's see. I would really like Sebastian to try to hold Ben to an answer on why they have missed the targets they have reiterated. Ben's talked about this, right? It's the T21 miners that they got in from Bitmain originally. Those were defective. They had to send those back, and they're basically, I think, waiting on the new ones to come in. And then that would get them back up. Let's see, Terawulf pretty much is leaving mining. 140 BTC is pretty bad. It's not that bad. It's actually better than some miners, but it is decreasing over time. Okay, so 127 million ATM left after the SDIG buyout. That would be good. Yeah, because I think it's all stock-based, right? Correct me if I'm wrong there. Okay. Jared says it's just an update on how much of the ATM has been used, but yes, it's a nothing burger. Yeah. Okay. Those who did not build in the bear market or bear are going to get left behind. They can still catch up, right? Iren has done a great job here in the last basically 6 months or so, growing and everything else. So you can still catch up even after the bear market. The bear market was back in 2022. So you do have some time after that to still do pretty well. Let's see. CORZ says, I have 7,000 Bitfarms shares. I feel like it's a great price, and I'm hopeful for strong growth going forward. What 3 price targets do you see possible through this bull market? Thanks. Good day. 3, I would say our first target would be to get Bitcoin to 100,000. If Bitcoin gets to 100,000, we're looking at Bitfarms should be around, I'm guessing, somewhere between $7 and $10. If we go beyond that, 150,000, we're looking at 10 to 15. Beyond that, we're looking at 15 to 20, something like that, depending on how much they dilute. But things will change. Yeah, so Jared says 10, 15. Yeah, kind of what I'm thinking here. Okay. Question, if we get to 120,000 BTC, what is the current price target for Cleanspark? At 120,000, that's 2x from where we are right now. They should be like, I'm guessing, at least 3 to 5x conservatively. So if they're at, where are they at right now? Cleanspark is at $10, so $30 to $50, something like that, somewhere around there. Okay. Hey, so did you notice all the many millions of shares given to insiders of Bitfarms for grant of options in the after hours? I count nearly 4 million shares we've been given as grant options. Oh, I did not see that yet. I'll have to take a look at that. But that's part of their reward program, I'm sure. Like every company here has it. But 4 million, there'll be only $8 million worth of it. It's not as bad as we've seen with like Riot giving out, what was it, 27 and 35 million or something like that. Okay. Bevney says, hopefully Bitcoin goes to 65,000 on the weekend and miners open up 10% of mining. No, I do not want that. I do not want to have a gap on the CME futures. I wanted to basically play flat, play dead over the weekend, and then get us back going in on the Monday. Let's see. Question, has the purchase price of SDIG already been agreed to? It has been agreed to based on the closing price of whatever it was at that point and the 70% premium on it. And they agreed to it in number of shares. So I think that stays the same. Okay. C says, I got some Bitfarms fills at $1.89 after hours. Nice. Nicely done. Let's see. If Bitcoin does a 2x, miners should 3 to 5x. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That's kind of conservatively. Historically, they've done about like a 6x, but I think we need to reduce that down a little bit here this cycle. Let's see. Hey, Seb, thanks in advance. You're very welcome. What do you think of Hive's operations in Paraguay? I think they're just building out right now, right? They haven't done anything yet. They're scheduled to get that built out sometime in 2025. So I don't think there's much operations there right now. Barra says, it's called a cyclical stock LOL. It does not mean it's a con. That's kind of the way I look at them as well. Right? If they can do this cycle again where we have huge drawdowns and nice bull run again, I would love that. Let's see. When will you update Iren PE, price to earnings? That probably when Bitcoin starts going up higher, maybe at that point. We'll see what they get, where Bitcoin goes and things like that. But we'll take a look at it. Right now I'm at between, I'm set at 20 actually right now. Why don't shareholders just vote against Bitcoin miners' constant dilution? Because if you're not growing and they need basically the ATMs and things like that to grow, you're dying. And you really need to be growing. LTD Bitfarm restates 150 million ATM. Yep. Okay, question. If Israel hits back, could the markets tank? I don't know. Depending on how hard they hit back, maybe. I mean, does it start a World War III or something? I don't even think that's going to happen. I think, it's a little tit for tat right now. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, Under says, I might unload a little more Wolf and trade for Iren. Also not too happy with Bitfarms right now. Maybe trade it for some Riot. Yeah, I mean, whatever you do, as long as you're in the miners, I think that's going to be fine. All the miners will go up in value once Bitcoin starts going up higher. Just which ones are going to possibly appreciate more than others, that's the unknown, right? Okay, covered that. Hi, Seb. Cleanspark's not too far away from 12. Do you see 15 in October? If Bitcoin goes in a nice rally here, yeah, we could possibly see that. Okay. Okay, Jared, have a good night, crew. Jared, you too. Thanks for coming in. Benny says, wait, what do you mean by gap on the weekend? What I mean by that is there's a CME futures gaps that form on the weekends if Bitcoin goes up in value or down, actually. So if we look at the CME futures gaps here, right, we don't want to have gaps like here, because eventually they do get filled, because this was on the way down. So this was, let me see this here, Friday, right? And then on Monday we had a gap. It will get eventually filled up, and then the same thing can happen on the way up. If we have a gap, this is a gap here from Friday to Monday. We typically, not always, but historically, we've seen these gaps get filled in time. And then, that kind of draws us back down to that line. We'll go up and then we'll come back down. So that's why I don't want to have gaps, preferably if we can. If we have a gap, if it's a small one, okay, we go up, we come back down or something like that. But I want us to go up to like 75, 80,000 and then come back down and fill that gap, going back down to 62. Don't like seeing that. Okay. So let's go back to Q&A. Okay. CORZ 118 megawatt extension expires Monday. Yeah, haven't heard anything about that. LTD, enjoy your weekend. Thank you, you too. Sebastian, doing some number crunching, and it appears Griffin is a steal. Could you also be acquired by Wolf or Cipher? No, no infrastructure, right? They don't have anything there. So what are you really buying? You're buying machines. That's it. So I don't think Griffin is a candidate for anybody to buy out. So if BTC does 2x, what do you think MicroStrategy will do? I think historically it's done around a 2x. Might outrun a little bit, but then it'll pull back down. So I would say 2 to 3, maybe 4x at most, and then it'll come back down to even out. Let's see, HD, to clarify, the shares are agreed to for SDIG regardless of what Bitfarms share price is at. I believe that's the case. Let's see. Hey, Seb, have some fun. If you could be the CEO of any miner for the next 3 years, which would you choose and why? Man. It would probably have to be either Cleanspark or Bitfarms, I think. Bitfarms, I mean, it's got a lot of... That one might be challenging because I don't really like to travel too much. And they got operations all over the place. So I'm just looking at my own kind of little life here that I like to lead. So it might be Cleanspark. They got operations here in the United States. Great operations, great team, great growth in the past. I think that one would be like a dream job to get there. Okay. So now Wolf is not going to go with BTC. Well, we don't know, right? Right now it seems like they're focusing more on the HPCI business, that much growth going forward. That's kind of where we're thinking that they might be looking to eventually get out. Let's see. Random Mexican says, blessings, Seb. Same to you. Hope you become a millionaire if you're not already. Well, I hope the same thing for you guys, right? That's why I do these videos and research and all this stuff to hopefully you guys learn something from it, get something from it as well. But yeah, and I'm not a millionaire yet. Let's see. 97 says, yeah, gaps seem to fill most of the time. Yeah, correct on that one. Let's see here. Happy Friday, Seb. We have a red October right now. September started the same way, and we made yeah. So I think we're going to do much better here going forward. And happy Friday to you too as well. So why is Bitfarms down 3.5 after hours? Great DCA again, possibly. Yeah, I think maybe it's just I don't know if it was a press release that came out or people saw it in the SEC, whatever it was, with the ATM. People saw that and they just freaked out. Seb, would you lead Cleanspark to fly around? And Seb would lead Cleanspark to fly around in the private jet. I don't like to fly, so I would actually drive. I don't. When I have to fly, I'll fly, but I do not like to fly. So if I can go someplace within like 13, 15 hours of driving, I'll do that instead of being on a plane for 3-4 hours. Let's see here. Hey, Seb, should Russia nuke Israel? No, because at that point we're at World War III. So I don't think they're that stupid either. What else here? Andrea, thank you so much. Remember to hit the like button. Yep, thank you. Okay, I think I'm all caught up to you guys' questions here. Yeah, and it's Friday night, so I'm going to go off quickly here. Well, not too quickly. We've been on here for about 40 minutes or so. But it's Friday. It was a good end of the week. On Friday, we had a nice pump in Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners for the most part as well. I do think that Uptober is still going to happen, and I think it's going to probably start sometime next week. So just be prepared, be in the right, what do they call those things? Gosh, those cars that you go on carnivals where they bumper cars. Make sure you're in the right bumper cars for the next 3 months, because it is going to be volatile, I think, and it's going to be up and down on a lot of these guys, but in the long run, it's going to be in the upside for things. Okay, so that is it. Thanks so much for coming in. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll get back to swing at things on Sunday. We'll cover a couple more miners as well. We'll see how the miners did over the past week, along with Bitcoin, and see if there's any other news stories that are out there. Okay. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Happy Friday. I'll see you guys on Sunday.